have to have a look. It looks to be one of the blue bikes in there, so we'll have to have a look. Definitely heading into the Icon corner. I think it might be young Daniel Medham, but already Demon Damo Rees under brakes into the aero mark left-hander, not quite close enough, so I think it might be the Daniel Medham show out in front at the moment with Damon Rees, and then back to Al Hoogie in third place, so we'll have to have a look at that. They head into Fulton Hogan for the first of 15. It was 15 lapper, so awesome stuff. A 15 lapper for the Superbikes, and that will be quite physically demanding. They head into the Christchurch Casino Carousel, and Demon Damo all over the back of Daniel at the moment. They head out of there and down into the Southern Salvage corner. That looks to be Mitchell in second, so the update, Mitchell in second place. So we've got the Rees boys just a little bit mixed up there. Heading into the dipper, we have Daniel Medham in front, and then Mitchell Rees, Al Hoogie, Damon Rees, and then Sloane Frost, current defending NZSBK champion, 5th place. Then back to the number 5 of Scotty Moyer. So they awesome little 6-way battle. They head into the rock sweeper for the first time and down onto the front straight. So an awesome start to race 2 of the weekend for the NZ Superbikes. As they follow, and it is Daniel Medham, Rees, Al Hoogie, Damon Rees, Sloane Frost, Scott Moyer, Jake Lewis, James Hugenhuizen, Olivia Zamheri, and Connor London. Your top 10 as they head down into Flexoplast, the left-hander, and it is still Daniel Medham with the advantage as they head down the Liquimolly straight and into the Icon corner. Down into the left-hander, the Euromark left-hander, so we'll have to see if we can cross down. Neil's going to be down there trying to do the podiums there, so we'll cross down to Neil, who's got the 125 GP podium down there. I'm just trying to catch an update there. We'll have to see if we can catch up with Neil. Got the 125 GP boys down there as we watch them out of the Christchurch Casino Carousel and down into the Southern Salvage S's. So it is still Daniel Medham, but then look at Al Hoogie trying to push up into second place, which is still the number 2 of Mitchell Rees. As we'll cross down now to Neil.
We are just going to do our 125 GP while we've got our Superbikes on the racetrack, and congratulations, Yanni. The more time you spend here at Ruapuna, the better you're getting. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's awesome to be here. Beautiful country, beautiful people, and it's an awesome racetrack.
You see, as we hear our Superbikes go past and probably drowning us out a little bit, but do you find that it was through your better experience that you'd done better in this race today than you won yesterday?
Yeah, because we're on the new bike, it's a new track. Obviously, we're going to have to find the limits of both. So once we do find that, we're just going to get faster and faster and faster. And you know, I hope we can start breaking records and doing some awesome stuff in the country.
Well done, lovely to have you with us. We're doing this one pretty quickly. Here to Jason, you were able to pip him yesterday, Jace, but Yanni got the break on you today.
Yeah, he passed me a lot earlier than I thought he would after passing the F3 traffic, and following him, I thought I may have had a chance, but a few slides on the rear, and I thought I'd take second. So, yeah.
Well done. All right, and the quick one here as we was over to Daniel. Daniel, we had you up on the podium before. Are you the hardest working rider here today?
Oh, you know, a 23-year-old bike in a class like this with these new things, it's pretty hard to keep up. I got a wee bit held up on the first lap, and once they're away, they're away. So I did what I could. I brought it home, and we can't complain. We'll see what happens in the third race.
Well done. There we go. Congratulations. So there we have it. All right, back to our Superbikes. Over to you, Brad. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. That's fantastic stuff down there. The 125 and 250 MotoGP podium. While we were away, Al Hoogie up into second place and all over the back of the 34 of Daniel Medham. So they head into the rock sweeper, a genuine 6-way fight for the lead as Daniel Medham will lead them out of the rock sweeper and down onto the front straight. But Al Hoogie, fastest man on track, is going to get in the slipstream and definitely have a look into Flexoplast there. Going to dive up the inside and wait there to see if he's got enough brakes there. Daniel Medham, one of the better guys under brakes at the NZSBK Racing, but I think Al Hoogie has done it. So Al Hoogie with the advantage down the Liquimolly straight, and awesome to see him with his pace yesterday. So the 43 will lead them into Icon Corner, and then 34 Daniel Medham with the 2 of Mitchell Rees keeping his little brother 92 Damo Rees at bay. But then, as I say that, up the inside, Damon Rees in the Euromark left-hander, not quite close enough. And then the 2 Suzuki boys behind him, Sloane Frost and Scotty Moyer, are going to just be waiting there to pounce on any big moves that happen. So these 2 at the front looking to try and break away, heading out of Fulton Hogan and into the Christchurch Casino Carousel. The awesome right-hander on a superbike. It is still Al Hoogie in front with Daniel Medham in second place at the moment, and then the 2 Rees racing boys for the Carl Cox Motorsport and Tony Rees Motorcycles all over each other into the Southern Salvage right-hander, and then Sloane Frost and Scotty Moyer looking to dive into the left-hander, but not quite close enough. So an awesome little 6-way fight for first, second, third, fourth and fifth, and then sixth place to Scotty Moyer as well. So Jake Lewis in 7th there, so a better ride from Jake this time, with James Hoogie, another Christchurch man, and Livio Zamperi in there as well. So awesome stuff in this NZSBK Supersport Race 2 action.
All right, here we go, and an opportunity to update. This is high-flying stuff, and don't we just love it indeed? Here we are with the run to the front, and look at that, the Yamaha's on fire. Yes, indeed, proved it was no fluke that he got onto the podium yesterday and doing it again here so well today. It's Alistair Hoogie. Come on, Canterbury, get him behind your own. He's got a whole trail of North Islanders behind him. They are thumping him down. What about that, of course, from Daniel, Mitch, Damon, Sloane, Scott? They're all North Islanders in there. So that top 6 only has one mainlander, and it is our own Al Hoogie. So here it is with Al. Oh, look at it. You just get the sense he's pulling a bit of a buffer as well. Great to watch. Comes down into Euromark, but look at the demon breaking it behind him from Daniel Medham on that Coleman's K-Road Suzuki GSX R1000 on the fight there, but it is the R1 Yamaha going for the glory. So check it out with Al Hoogie in the front, then looking to Dangerous Dan trying to whip it up there, and then of course to the awesome Team Breeze Honda with the brothers extraordinaire, the mighty Mitch and Damon show out there, and it is in fact that older Mitch over Damon, and I'm just going to have to now try and see if I can pick up anything that tells me any difference between the 2, because of course similar machine, similar gear. Yes, you know the numbers are different. Number 2 for Mitch. Oh, there we go. Mitch looking for dab on the inside. I think he's held him out. Yes, he has. Oh, beautiful. In fact, look at that. The mistake then made as he's gone wide by Dan Medham, and that's allowed both the Reeses to go through. Mitch over Damon. So good work out there, Brad.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, just dived it in there on the left-hander, the scope left-hander of the Southern Salvage Jesses, and Daniel having to stand up meant that the door was left open, and Damo snuck through. So a 2 for 1 for the Rees Racing boys, and can they track down Al Hoogie, who's definitely pushing hard, coming out of the rock sweeper and trying to get away with this one. So it is Al Hoogie, Mitch Rees, Damon Rees, Daniel Medham, Sloane Frost, and then Scotty Moyer on the CD Vandermeer Builders GSX R1000. So there's nothing in it in the top 6 at the moment, with an awesome ride from James Hoogie getting 7th now up on Jake Lewis. So James Hoogie looking to get on the back of that 6-way train as well.
Well, I'm certainly liking the fact that we can pick up the TSS Red Baron Fitter Fujitsu supported Suzuki team, because Sloane Frost's a standout on the white bike and white gear there, so we can see him into that placing as we look for the run coming from Mitch. Oh, look at that, forced out wide a fraction, but he still followed them through nicely. Good work in there. So there you are with your Super 6, and then the fight coming from Scotty Moyer as he pushes the advantage back there in that 6th place, but the change from the last lap still has Al Hoogie in the front, Team Breeze in behind him, Mitch from Damon, older from younger, and then we go back to the a run from Dan Medham, was in 2nd place, made the slight mistake out of Southern Salvage, left the gap open, Mitch got it, then Damon got it, so took him from 2nd back to 4th place, and now all the pressure coming on Al Hoogie, the local man. So come on, Canterbury, they need your support. Remembering these guys can sense it, feel it and see it out there, so come on, Canterbury people, to support Al with a brilliant ride. And there we go, remembering this is a part of the track that Mitch did so well on a lap ago. Can he try and get it again, or will we see anybody as mighty and as mad as Daniel Jenkins to be overtaken into the Sign Biz Dipper? No, we won't, as the run goes on. And now just getting the sense those 3 starting to pull away. That 4th place now by Daniel Medham, and not as close as we had before, so it may be a 3x3 rather than all 6 of them which you are counting.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed Al Hoogie went a little bit defensive into that scope left-hander, so he knows the score, and he knows how to ride around Ruapuna. So awesome stuff from Al Hoogie. Holds on to the lead as they head into Fixer Class, and looks like Damon Rees maybe up on the inside of Mitch. No, probably if that wasn't his brother and his teammate, that might have been a bit more of a harder push, but awesome stuff. Damon Rees is definitely fastest man on track yesterday, and he was not far off lap record pace. So awesome to see these boys And a 15 lapper already into the 130s as Mitchell Rees around the outside of Al Hoogie. Can he get the line cut off? He can. I think we've got a lead change. Yes, coming out of Euromark, we have Mitchell Rees up into the lead. So that is a lead change heading into Fulton Hogan with Mitchell Rees ahead of Al Hoogie and Damon Rees, and that's brought it back into now a 7-way fight with James Hoogie on the back of the 6-way train.
Oh, look at that. In fact, there's in the last 4 laps, we've had 3 different race leaders. We've had Daniel Meadow, we've had Al Hoogie, and now we've got Mitch Rees up there. But it's Damon, of course, that won the race yesterday, and can he now make a difference to get up and amongst them? Well, we have to find that out shortly. He's doing all the hard work there. Or maybe this time on the inside. Yes, he's through there. Team Rees go the 1-2 at this stage, and look at that from Al. He tries to get back on the inside. He saw what happened last time with Dan Medham, and he wants to make sure it doesn't happen to him this time. So good that he was able to close it in there, but it is now Team Rees. Look at that. The Honda Quinella out in front. Mitchell from Damon. Damo up against Mighty Mitch. They're going for it, and there's the big bike fight on at this stage. And we've now seen yesterday, or really with our recent series in riding, that Damon arguably has been a little bit quicker than Mitch, but it's Mitch that's got the advantage at this stage, and can he hold it? Because he's got his brother behind him, and here's all the love that's going on out on the racetrack. And there we go with 92, but there we go with Hoogie. Look at that from Al Hoogie. Al Hoogie looking for that Yamaha, that R1. The legs of the R1 Yamaha are fantastic, and as he got the 2 of them, it might be a little bit of an oversweep. Is he going to make it stick? Yes, from 3rd place to 1st. How's that? Come on, Canterbury.
Al Hoogie, what a move. And also noticed the 4th place man now, Sloane Frost, has made the move on Daniel Medham. So interesting to see if Sloane has enough to run with these guys. But yeah, awesome stuff. Al Hoogie from 3rd, and then already he's going to lose the spot, and that is going to happen. It's going to make it out of Euromark left-hander. So an awesome move. CBR SB1 Honda is now in the lead as they head into Fulton Hogan, with Al Hoogie in 2nd place as well. So Sloane Frost definitely the man on the move in that second part of that group. So look to see the TSS Red Baron Fujitsu New Zealand man, Sloane Frost, see if he can improve on the race position. But what an awesome 6-way, 7-way tussle we have as they try and catch the number there. I think it is Mitchell Rees in front as they head into Southern Salvage, and then Al Hoogie in 2nd place with Sloane Frost, like I said, now looking to push all over the back of the Team Rees Racing Carl Cox Honda in 3rd place.
So there you go. It's Mighty Mitchell in front. So go to Honda, Yamaha, Honda with Suzuki in there. Suzuki, and then the other Yamaha to pick it up as well. So a nice little run from those guys. Loving the work that's going on through there. And what about that in our update? Keen to look out for them, of course. Scott, Daniel and Sloane, the 3 Suzukis in amongst them. 2 Hondas in the Yamaha. So there you go, and check that out. 92 has gone for it. There's Damon Damo's got the advantage. He has gone in front. So there's your update, and that'll show Damon is jumping up on the glory. So there you go. Just when you thought it was Mitch for a minute, it is Damon, and the change is made. I don't know whether they put a fluoro sticker on the helmet. We may not even see any difference, but now with their gear, there is a difference to their leathers on the front, but their back are very similar. Of course, the bikes are the same as well. Looking in great Carl Cox Motorsport, Pacific Toyota, supported Timaru Metal Recyclers, Mondale Logistics, and Tony Rees Motorcycles, Honda, supported livery, and these guys are looking fabo, and some work to do there with that Mighty Mitch, so he wasn't lead. So that's now 4 different leaders in the last 5 laps, Brad.
Absolutely brilliant. And look at Demon Damo. He's already trying to break free. So I think Al Hoogie might be holding Mitch up a little bit. And all meanwhile, Damon Rees has got a 10 bike length advantage heading into the Christchurch Casino Carousel. So Demon Damo, it'll be interesting to see what this lap time clocks in at. The last time round, he was the fastest man on track with a 1:30.112. So we'll have to wait and see. Now that he's got some clear track and broken free, see if he can get any sort of fast lap times there with Al Hoogie and Mitch Rees in 3rd place. Sloane Frost in 4th with Daniel Medham still in front of the number 5 of Scotty Moyer, with James Hugenbosen on the 85, the Underground Brown Mega Motorcycle Centre GSX R1000 back in 7th place, and Jake Lewis in 8th on a little bit of a lonely ride, but with the best seat in the house for this racing. So here it is, Damon Rees coming down the front straight and already with a big advantage.
All right, there we go, Mighty Damon in front. Then go back to Al, then go to Mitch, then look to the Suzuki trifecta out there. The 3 of them on the charge. It is Sloane at this stage, holding it up from Daniel, and going back to Scott. Look at James Hugenbosen, another Suzuki in there. So that's 4 of them in a row in the group, but it's Honda, Yamaha, Honda out in front with Jake Lewis adding to it. Olivio Samperi along with Connor London. Go to Chris Haldane. Welcome back, Chris. Lovely to see you in 11. Dan Ormsby from Ormsby Motorcycle Training. Brad Groombridge in there. Can Brad finish his first South Island Superbike race after an off yesterday? Ray Clee with Dave Sharp along with Ray Youngco, and a non-start from Kevin Beaumont. So unfortunately haven't found out the reason for young Kevin not getting a start in there. The young tongue-in-cheek. But Kevin, nice to awesome have you with us at this event, and I hope everything's okay, and maybe a restart start for the Grand Prix later on this afternoon, courtesy of Avon City Motorcycles. But Brad, Damon showing us exactly what he did yesterday in streaking out the field. No, it's not lap record time, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, 1:30.049, and everyone else was in a 1:31 around him. So he took a second out of everyone on that lap and had a 1.8 second lead as they crossed the line, and that's definitely even bigger now than it was back then. So awesome stuff from Demon Damo Rees, and wouldn't that be an awesome confidence booster to tick this one off, as well as race one with Al Hoogie in second ahead of Mitchell Rees, who were just trying to sneak away from the 4-pack of Suzuki's behind them.
Yes, indeed, and the big bike battle to look out for with the manufacturers. I tell you what, Suzuki showing their domination by numbers again, but it's not the podium at this stage. That's 2 to Honda and 1 to Yamaha as we go Damon Rees ahead of Al Hoogie, ahead of Mitch Rees, and then looking at the Suzuki 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'll tell you what, James Hugenbosom on that Metzger Builders supported bike in fantastic form. Just loving what young James is doing there. We know what a great start he had to the campaign last year, so nice to see him continue with his quality riding in there with Jake, Olivia and Connor wrapping out our top 10, and look at what's going on there. In fact, Olivia might be there for the, quite consistent, and it's, well, in fact, he's 10 seconds on the gap further back from the other guy, so some work to do if he wants to gain, but on the other hand, he's just pulled away from those other boys, so holding on that nicely. And here we go with Brad Groombridge getting more laps in. The young man, never before had he done any road racing until December just last month, had the opportunity with a few whispers going round in the Suzuki stables. He always said he wanted to have a go with road racing, but it's all happened a little quicker than he thought, and it came about with the backup bike of Sloane's being available with the withdrawal of another rider, and the whisper went out, and Brad said, I'll take it, something to fulfill what he did. So he went in the Suzuki series, and bingo, then he said straight away, I want to go south, I want to be part of this national champs. He was entered in our Superlight B, but straight away his times were comparable to those in the actual Super bike racing, and he's now gone into our main class. So what a great run and a debut for the young New Zealand motocross runner-up, New Zealand cross-country champion and enduro champion. So he's had 3 major podiums in the last year. Go Brad Groombridge.
Yeah, there it is. Damon Rees crosses the line, and Al Hoogie, Mitch Rees second and third with now Daniel Meadow and Scotty Moore have got ahead of Sloane Frost with James Hoogie looking to go inside. So no, not quite close enough. So Sloane Frost was in 4th place a little while ago, but now the 2 other Suzukis of Daniel Meadow and Scotty Moore have got ahead of him. So let's see what sort of lap times they can get now. Now that they're here and out of Icon corner. So 4 Suzukis all down the back straight at the moment. So awesome sight to see. But it is Damon Rees into the infield, into the Fulton Hogan S's with a massive 3.8 second gap. So a massive gap from Damo Rees, but just absolutely brilliant stuff. Al Hoogie, he's never ridden an R1 around Ruapuna until he got it just the start of the year, and then now with Mitchell Rees in 3rd place as well. So a great podium at the moment with the Suzukis coming right behind them.
All right, so check it out. This is Mighty Damon. Has he been able to put the best time together? He's gone down to that 1:30.049, so hasn't quite broken the mark. He did so yesterday with the run in the Superbikes. He got it into that 1:29, but today not quite as good. But hey, I think he's doing all the right things here. Remember, this is a guy that crashed in qualifying. Set the fastest pace, only in lap number 2 to crash out. The other guys did 12 laps of qualifying. He only did the 2, but he did the ones that counted early on, and they made him stick, and nobody else was able to better it. So he's been number 1 qualifier. He won the first race yesterday and looking good in the second race. Please, can you buy a copy of BRM Bike Rider magazine? Buy a copy of the latest edition. There's a Damon Rees right up in there, and I think it'll give you an idea as to why he's at the front of the field this year. Where's he come from in Superbike? He'd only had 1 New Zealand Superbike race prior to this year's championship, and that was at Hampton Downs last year. He only did 1 Superbike race. He qualified on pole, and then he went and crashed. So that was his claim to fame for that. So in fact, in finishing the race here yesterday was his first ever Superbike finish, and he won it. How about that for a stat, folks? Absolutely incredible. So the first time he'd ever finished a Superbike race, he won it. That is just amazing. So check this man out and read that latest Bike Rider magazine. It'll give you an idea of the determination, the preparation, and the effort this guy's putting into the sport as to why he's at the front end of the field.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And to see Mitchell Rees now. Mitchell Rees up into 2nd place, so he's got past Al Hoogie, and now we see Daniel Meadow now all over the back of Al Hoogie. So Al Hoogie just falling off at the late part of this race. So 2.5 laps to go. It is Damon Rees out in front. He's got a massive gap as he heads through the Southern Salvage Essers. But now Mitchell Rees, the team Honda 1-2, with Al Hoogie having to now fight off Daniel Medham, 3rd and 4th place, with Scotty Moyer in 5th, and then James Hoogie, who's got ahead of Sloane Frost. So still some awesome battling out there at the moment, but you can't take anything away from Damon Rees heading around the rock sweeper at the moment, and he will have 2 laps to go as he crosses the line with the Team Rees Racing Carl Cox Motorsports SB1 Honda.
All right, in fact, I think it gives you an idea of what the racing in Australia is all about. We have some of our riders that have been going to the UK, some going to America. He's only been going to Australia, and look what's happened to the riding excellence of this man. So I think it's really given us an idea why we see almost the same in motocross and off-road as well. The Aussie experience is good enough to raise our standard. Yes, they are faster, they do go better, their machinery is better. Arguably their circuits and events are, but it's will always be a debatable. It's not the point, more importantly, that they're going to a higher calibre event and getting in better experience, and there's more races. And the improvement, you'll see that in the article of what he's done to improve his riding and what he proved to do. And when he went to places like Phillip Island, and in fact at the start and the finish of the championship, you will see the improvement that he made. And he was then only in the 600 class, of course. He was doing it for 2019. He's stepping up to go superbike racing along with his brother Mitch. They'll be doing the full campaign, and you can get on board to support them and be all in the know of what's going on in the Rees Collective. Remember that name, the Rees Collective, and check them out in the pits. I'd love your support, and they'll show you what they'll do. And more importantly, you can be engaged with them and be supportive of them, and therefore be part of their campaign, because these are the new heroes of New Zealand road racing. Bring it on.
Yeah, awesome stuff from the Rees boys, and managed to get over there for one of the rounds. And just the class of ASBK, you can just see it, how good it is. And you got former World Superbike champions in the field as well. So awesome stuff and awesome exposure for the Team Rees Racing boys out there.
All right, yeah, Brad well picked up the fact that Brad went over for a round. In fact, ended up by, he thought he was going to be a spectator, and all of a sudden he had to take a bike stand and all of a sudden stand on the grid at Phillip Island, and he had no idea that he was going to be doing it. And we got the Facebook update of the photo of him on the grid and went, wow, excuse me, you're only supposed to be a spectator. And there he was, all of a sudden a Kiwi helping out a Kiwi when he had the opportunity to. So a great experience for him, and a memory that'll last a lifetime. So well done for Brad, and here he is now this year in the commentary box as well. So a great 12 months, and proud of the endeavours and the achievements so far. Looking out for it at the moment, of course, looking out, white flags. It is the update as we go to Team Rees taking the 1-2 as we look to Al Hoogie. Then, of course, the Suzuki battles. Dan Medham beating back in there again ahead of Scott. Even James Hoogie getting up. And for Chopper, who at one stage was as high as 2nd place in our race, has now gone back to about 6th or 7th. So there it is, Brad. It's in the end sort of just drifted apart a little bit further.
Yeah, no, the man on the track, I've been impressed with James Hoogie. He's now up into 5th spot, so he's got ahead of Scotty Moyer. So James Hoogie with some late race pace and maybe some good fitness, maybe one to look out for in the 18 lap Grand Prix later on today. So good stuff as we have a look at Damon Rees and through the Southern Salvage Essers. Mitchell Rees got a decent enough comfy gap in 2nd place. Al Hoogie, who's had Daniel Medham climb over the back of him in the last few laps. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th certainly not done for at the moment, but Demon Damer, he's just got the rock sweeper to do, and he has done well. And then now look at Jake Lewis all over the back of Sloane Frost. So not sure what's happened to Sloane, but he's drifted right back into the clutches of Jake Lewis, who would love to grab another position.
Here we are waiting for the checkered flag, waiting to bring them home, are we? What? Look at that, 2 out of 2, another great win for Demon Namo. He is home, Mr. Damon Rees, folks, check it out. Brother Mitchell gets the finish behind him, and Al Hoogie getting the 3rd, and very, very close for the 4th in the end too. Daniel Medham never gave up and charged all the way. Great to see. What I'm impressed with as well is looking out for some of our others in the field. Look at that, yes, Sloane still holds out Jake, but I tell you what, another great battle going on in our race out there. We have Brad Groombridge, and also in there the great ambassador, Mr. Ray Clee. And if you see RCM as a sponsor, Ray Clee Motorcycles, this guy knows how to build and race motorcycles. He's a former New Zealand TT champion, a national champion, and here he is on the tail of Brad Groombridge. So just going through the sign biz dipper at the moment, and here's one guy that's been racing literally 5 minutes, and one guy's been doing it for many years. So look at that, the new young gun and Brad Groombridge keeping in front of somebody like Ray Clee. I'd have only ever dreamed of walking in the footsteps of Ray Clee, and yet here's young Brad. Look at this for a debut year, first time ever here at Ruapuna. This is now only his 4th ever road race event, and there he is to have just held on there in the battle to come home at the tail of the field. So well done, Brad in 13th, Ray in 14th.
Awesome stuff. So Superbike boys, there's only 16 of them out there racing, so already they're off the track and around the slip road. So Neil will have to do some high-end jogging, get down the podium, but awesome stuff. Damon Rees, Mitchell Rees, Alistair Hugenbotham, Daniel Medham, James Hugenbosen, Scott Moyer, Sloane Frost, Jake Lewis, Connor London, Chris Haldane. Awesome top 10 from Chris Haldane. Awesome stuff. 11, Dan Ormsby, Livio Zampieri, and Brad Groomage, Ray Clee, Dave Sharp round out the top 15. So awesome stuff with your NZSBK Superbikes brought to you by Casbolt Motorcycles. And just absolutely fantastic stuff. Damon Reeves with a 1:30.049, his fastest lap of the race. So that is pretty good stuff in a 15-lapper in these conditions. And bodes pretty well for the Grand Prix we've got coming up. And it is race 17 on the program. So this one's race 13 we've just done. So in just another 4 races time, they're back for the Grand Prix. So awesome stuff from Team Reeves Racing with a 1-2. And very good stuff from Al Hoogie, who's put the R1, first podium for the Yamaha R1 in NZSBK. Awesome stuff there. As we'll cross down to Neil.
Well, I'm just loving the brotherly love going on down here at the moment. The boys are still taking their helmets off. Look at this mentor, the great Johnny Hepman, known these boys since they were in nappies. He's got riding behind him. He's been a supporter of them, sponsor of them. He was an assister. He went over to one of the rounds in Aussie and got him behind him. And here's Johnny, long time passionate about the sport. But his other sons are out here and doing their winning today. So just fantastic to see. Boys have just started their bikes up again. In fact, so wanted to make sure that they're going to cool down all right. That's what they're doing here with the blowers, because I'm sure they've gone pretty hot indeed through there at the moment. So, yeah, that's what they're wanting to do. So here with an opportunity to see what's going on. Well, the boys are trying to put a little bit of cold air on the bike here and keep those fans going. First of all, Damon, that proves it was no fluke. Congratulations. What was it like out there?
That was intense, to be honest. I got a really bad start. It's just a good thing I had pole, but Dan come flying past. Mitch had another good start, and then turn 1 was tricky. Al come up the inside, pushed me a little wide. I hit the side of Scotty, so sorry to him. Hopefully it didn't hinder him too much. And then Sloane come past me into turn 1. Managed to get him straight back, and I just kept my head down, kept it tight, waited. Mitch left the door open, and I got through on Dan once Mitch made a move, and I just made my moves from there. And I knew once I had clear track, I just had to put my head down, pull a gap, and then I could ease off, because, man, I was knackered by that point. So it was a wicked race, and I'm just stoked to be on top.
Right, indeed. Hey, if you... Sorry if you thought that one was a toughie. We've got a Grand Prix this afternoon, Damon.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. An extra 3 laps, but I believe I can do it. If I can do the same again, pull a gap, I can keep it controlled near the end there. So we'll just see how this one goes, and hopefully I can get a better start and not have to battle through the boys again.
Yeah, great work out there, and certainly from a bike point of view, you guys have done the hard yards. You've got these bikes sorted out. The hiccups through the Suzuki series, it's almost as if they were your testing ground, and it's coming right for you.
Yeah, to be honest, Taupo is a very similar track to here, so we've got a really good base set up, and I just didn't have the best weekend at Mansfield. I believe if I didn't have the accident in qualifying, I should have been there, but definitely coming here, and just the bike is working immaculate. I couldn't fault it, so big thank you to Honda and all of my sponsors and Mum and Dad, and us. It's just been an awesome weekend. It's pretty cool to see the bro in second too.
Indeed. In fact, we'll go to the bro next as we talk about him. So here we are, looking to get Mighty Mitch up here, but he's getting a little bit excited about what's going on, and I don't blame him for that. First of all, Mitch, since you've been in Superbikes and seeing your bro there, the dice you've had, is that the best race you've ever had?
Yeah, apart from winning, No, that was an awesome race, just massive battle the whole race, which was great. It's sort of, especially 15 laps, it keeps it interesting.
Certainly it does indeed. All right, what was the secret out there? You were able to find the places and the timing to go through there. Is that just experience? How was the bike performing? Combination of all of those?
Yeah, I think, I lack a little bit in the straight line speed. I'm a little bit heavy, so I need to sort that out. But, I try and try real hard through that infield to make the time up.
All right, hey, if it came to a bit of putting knobblies on these bikes, you'd whip his butt out there, but when it comes to a bit of Tarseel, he's not too bad, your little bro, eh?
No, he's riding fantastic. You know, he has done since he came back from injury after his foot. So, you know, I'm so stoked for him. You know, if it's not me winning, I want it to be him. So.
Well done indeed. So there we go with Mighty Mitch. An opportunity here to talk. Come on, folks out there, Canterbury. Let's have a big one for Al Hoogie. Yeah, that is better. Well done, Alistair. Man, you have just taken to this like a duck to water, as they politely say. Do you feel as good as it looks out there?
I'm feeling really comfortable on the bike. There's still a few more things that are like today, the temperature's a wee bit different, so we're sort of in uncharted territory with the Suzuki Series being so warm. But with the sort of the good guesses we're taking for this temperature, it's working really well. I'm absolutely stoked to be running with the Rees boys. Just they've been riding awesome in Australia and awesome at home. And yeah, just to be keeping up with them, I'm stoked. But now I'm here on the podium, you're sort of looking at that number one spot, sort of going, come on. But we'll take this one. We'll take our second yesterday, and yeah, we'll look forward to the big one in a few races' time.
Right, but more importantly, hey, you've only been here 5 minutes. You and the bike combination, this is all brand new. Those other guys have got a little bit more on you. It's got to be a confidence booster to think that it's still a lot of way to go, but it's already up, only a slight uphill.
Yeah, early days. We're climbing that ladder. We haven't had too many setbacks. We're taking big steps forward. So yeah, just a massive thanks to Yamaha and all the Blue Crew and the team in the pit that are helping myself and Jake and Rogan get along. They're doing an awesome job for the limited time we've been on these machines. So yeah, cheers to those guys.
Yeah, it is indeed a massive cheer. Come on, what about it from all of us out there? Massive round of applause. Here we go, Damon Mitchell and Al Hoogie. Brilliant to see as we look out for our sidecars coming up for our next round of racing. But it's Superbikes. What a scene it's been set. All of these new young guns, they're our new future of the sport, and we're in very good hands when you've got champions of the quality of what we got around that lap record time. And on this beautiful Mike Pero Motorsport Park, we are in for a fantastic one. Bring it on, the Avon City Motorcycles Grand Prix later this afternoon.